Hi everybody, Dale Haight here for Dr. Dale on Deck. I'm sitting on the front porch today, just doing a couple of videos, short videos to get out to the public and let y'all know what's going on. Dr. Dale on Deck as a platform has been quite inactive over the past year. A lot of things going on, involved with a lot of songwriting and producing and doing those kinds of things as well. But I really feel like God is giving me a real nudge here about making a provision for more opportunity for Bible teaching ministry, this kind of thing. So I wanted to let you know that I'm gonna be endeavoring now to do basically a Sunday morning release of a teaching as we begin this next season in the journey of Dr. Dale on Deck. Everything is changing right now. It's changing, as I mentioned on another video that I just put out concerning music that I put out on this channel. The music process is completely different than it was 24 years ago when I Am Free was released, when the first album that I produced for myself. The previous year I'd been involved with some other projects, but that year that was my stuff, and it was a great process, but it was very extensive, very involved. It was a lot of legwork, and it took about a year, the whole year prior to that release date, to actually develop the project, to get it ready for everything. Simultaneous to all of that, of course, I was working on my master's degree and my doctorate and all of those kinds of things at the same time, and I was also writing a book at the same time. So one of the things that I wanted to share this with you, because this is where I talk about how change is always going to happen. It's inevitable. We're going to have that. There are going to be upgrades to everything. Sometimes those changes feel negative, at least at first, and then they move on. But I wanted to make sure that I shared with you this aspect of it. Back when I wrote the book, Radical Vessels, it was published by Xulon Press, which is a publishing company that actually assists independent writers, authors, to get their books published, and it's a way of self-publishing your book, but using someone who will provide distribution and promotion and all of those kinds of things as well. And I always enjoyed working with Xulon and their team. Really great organization. And so my first book, which came out in 2005, I believe it was, that was released by them. But it was in a completely different format than it had ever been before. It was in something called on-demand publishing. That was relatively new at the time. Prior to that, you would try to get your manuscript picked up by a publisher, or you would go out and you'd find people to print your book and publish it yourself and do all that kind of thing. There are a lot of great books out there that have followed that process over the years. On-demand publishing with Xulon, basically, and I'm not advertising for them, I'm just letting you know these changes happen. At that time, we were seeing significant change in that industry, so to speak. And one of the things that happened was they began to put out books as needed. So if you ordered a book from Amazon, Amazon might buy a case of books from Xulon during the promotional part of this thing, and so they would have those on hand so that they could immediately ship those out. If somebody ordered your book on Amazon.com, it could be put in the mail right away. And then when they ran out, then they said available within 48 hours or whatever the case might be. And that's because they would contact the publisher, and the publisher would then immediately produce a copy or so, whatever the demand was. And they could do that because those books were already produced, they were already in their system, and all they had to do was go through their files and pull that book, cover and all, and print it and send it out. And that's really what publishing did back then. Well, church is a lot the same way today. We have moved, and some people blame it on COVID. I don't think it's as much COVID and the time that we went through there as it is some other things, but church has changed into more digital format, into more online presence. And while the gatherings are still vital and important for relationships, a lot of people have just not done that. There still needs to be provision for those who have not returned to being in fellowship each day. So Dr. Dale on Deck we want to take care of that need. So every Sunday I'm going to be releasing Sunday morning messages for everybody who would like to receive it, and I hope that meets with your approval. You have a great day. God bless you, and peace.